Hello there everybody, long time no see. Welcome to another Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor video. It is pretty much summertime here in Nova Scotia. We went right from winter pretty much right into summer. April was about our only spring month, sort of. We went from -4, -5 degrees, and now we're talking about 20, 25 degrees every day. So it's been great for those of you in the US. That be anywhere from 70 to 80 degrees this week. And it's been awesome weather. So took yesterday there, got the car all cleaned up on the outside, somewhat on the inside, definitely not done in there yet. Got the tire shine on it, got some wax back on her. I used the turtle wax ceramic spray wax. It actually seems to work very good. I do the 2 coats. Normally I just did one yesterday to get a layer on it, but anyway, so the car's looking good, minus the pollen that fell down overnight. I don't know if you guys can see it in the video, but it's also pollen season, so that's going to have a damper on every car out in the field. No matter how much you clean your car, it's going to show up the next day, the day after, and the day after, and the day after that. Like, I don't even have all season tires to put on it this year, and to be honest, I don't drive that much, so I'm probably just going to leave them on. Plus, like I said, I don't know how much longer I'm going to have the car anyway, but time will tell on that. Don't really know. That's always up in the air. We do have a new issue with the Crown Vic, and I think I might have touched on it in a previous video, but if not, because like I said, I don't remember when the last time I did a Crown Vic video was. I think it was a couple months back. Anyway, the flex plate sounds like it's making noise. It only does it when it's in drive or reverse, and it's not making the noise when it's in park. The other weird thing is it only does it after the car's warmed up for like 5 to 10 minutes of driving. It really starts to make the noise and you really start to hear it. Otherwise, the car has been the same old. Of course, it'll need a new gas tank eventually, but the leak is so minor, it hasn't really gotten any worse or anything like that, so I just kind of left it. It leaks so little, it actually still passed safety inspection for the gas tank, so I just haven't worried about it, because in order for it to fail safety inspection, it needs to have an active leak, and when it went through it last year, there was no active leak found, and the gas tank really hasn't gotten any worse since then. So, like I said, I've kind of just left it. I know, shame on me, guys. Like I said, I'm not upkeeping it 100%, but it is what it is. 17-year-old car here at the Salt Belt, so you just kind of take your wins and your losses all together. I also got the wheel covers back on. I apologize, my video skills aren't the best right now. I'm not really holding the camera that still. And I also noticed the Samsung, you have to stand really, really far back from the car in order to get like a good video, and I don't like using the far away cam or the closer up cam because the quality just isn't as good, so I just kind of use it on the regular old cam. But there she is, the old Crown Vic. Kind of almost looks like a street appearance slightly with the wheel covers on it, but I do like changing the look up once in a while. Those of you that have Crown Vics, I don't know how you guys enjoy that, but I always enjoy switching out the look every once in a while here and there. It's nice to go back and forth between the wheel covers and the center caps. I usually do that every few months, and I especially do it at the beginning of summer. It just kind of goes well with the vibe and always kind of looks good just to change it up. So if you guys want to hear the flex plate, I will go fire up the car, and also the body work that was done last year, still holding up surprisingly well. No new rust is really formed here at all, but again, I'm sure underneath might be a different story, as that is a lot of Bondo under here. That's not a whole lot of real metal under this fender anymore. You can almost hear the difference. Yeah, you can almost hear the difference. Rocker panels, while they still are what they are, they as well were a patch last year. Of course, for those of you that know, that watched my videos and kept up on it, car right now sitting at 179,000 kilometers and 272 idle hours. I'll fire it up. Has the check engine light for the O2 sensor. All right, so just listen here. You can hear it a little bit. Hear that? I asked the cup mechanics, and just they're pretty much 100% sure that's the flex plate. Still a little odd that it only does it when it's the car's warmed up at least a little bit, but you can really hear it. There's reverse, it does a little bit. So when you go from drive to neutral, nothing, not making the noise. So very likely a flex plate issue, unfortunately. Otherwise, the car's still been driving good. Hasn't caused any drivability issues, but again, that's on borrowed time. That could last me a year like that, or it could last 2 days. You just don't know. I don't really know what to do, guys. Like I said, I'm tempted to get a Camry this year, with gas being $6.57 a gallon over the last year consistently. And of course, rust and stuff with the car getting older, like such a do Camry's about $2,000 to $2,300 difference in gas a year. Like it would basically pay for itself after 6-7 years of driving. I love the Crown Vic though, so I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50. I might pay to get it fixed, because like I said, if I want to get it fixed properly, definitely needs a gas tank. It definitely needs a flex plate. And the thing is, the rocker panels, they will have to get patched again eventually, which will be another expensive job. And the gas tank's not really cheap anymore, especially when you do labor. Most shops nowadays around here are $90 to $100 an hour. I'm not sure how it is down the States. And parts here in Canada are way more expensive. So let me give you an idea. Down in America, you can buy a brand new rim for a Crown Vic for $60 to $75. OEM, not aftermarket, OEM rim. In Canada, that same rim is about $180. So really makes a difference when it comes to parts. And the flex plate, you're easily going to be talking $1,200 to $1,500. And by the time you do all that repairs, you're already, by the time you do the gas tank, the flex plate alone. Now, I'm not sure if the steering shaft's going or not. I sprayed some WD-40 on it there a couple months ago because the steering was getting a little stiff. Hasn't come back though. The car was recalled. I did have the recall done, and I called when it happened. And they said, unfortunately, once the recall's done once, you have to pay for the part if it happens a second time. So that sucks, because obviously Ford never fixed their design when it comes to steering shafts. But like I said, I sprayed some WD-40 on it a couple months ago. It's been fine. It happened there twice, and like I said, it seems to have been fine since. So maybe there's a little bit of rust holding up, or a bolt was just starting to seize up, but it's been okay ever since that. Normally it would start to go again already, but we'll see. Again, that would not be a cheap fix either if that actually had to get fixed. But like I said, it seems to be doing okay now. It's been a couple of months. I put on probably 8-10,000 since the last time I've had to spray it, so it seems to be holding up. It might have just been something was getting a little stuck in there with a piece of rust or something, and it just came out, but it seems to be okay now. But like I said, by the time you do the flex plate, the gas tank, you're already talking at least $2,500 easy, because the flex plate's gonna have to be done at a shop. It's not really something a backyard mechanic's gonna be able to do too well. And the gas tank, same thing, generally speaking. It's not really easy to do in a driveway, that's for sure. So definitely not cheap repairs. Like I said, the rocker panels will have to get patched again eventually. That won't be cheap either. So unfortunately, it's a lot of things that are just getting to be 17-year-old rust belt car problems. So I haven't really decided what I want to do with the car. I would love to keep it. I love this car. Like I said, at the same time, it's $4,200 a year in fuel to drive it at 17.5 miles per gallon at $6.5-7 a gallon. Not very cheap. And then, yeah, like I said, the flex plate definitely not going to be cheap, and the gas tank not really cheap either. Like I said, so I'm sure you've all been here with all your used cars. We all get to that point. You're like, well, how much money is more worth sinking into it? Like I said, I love this car overall. It's been reliable. So like I said, just kind of trying to make a decision. I do think in the long run, when I ran over the numbers, by the time you factor in less maintenance, less fuel, even with depreciation for that matter, the Camry pretty much pays for itself after 6-7 years of driving. And it's a Camry, let's be honest, it would last longer. Would it be as exciting as a Crown Vic? Not even close. But like I said, it's definitely something for me to think about the long term. I love Crown Vics, they always will. Some of my favorite cars on the road. Nothing else really drives like them. Nothing else really has that presence either like a Crown Vic does. They're just old school. They're cool. They're rear wheel drive. They're V8. They're body on frame, and they're tough. No matter what car you get out there today, there's nothing you can really drive over, maybe besides maybe a truck, nothing else you can really drive over a curb and say, oh well, and just keep on trucking. They're very unique in the way that they're built, designed, and drive. And if you want one, you better get one soon, especially if you live in Canada, because your time to find a Crown Vic is running out. They don't sell them on GC Surplus. There's like nothing for sale on Facebook Marketplace here in Nova Scotia. Hardly anything for sale in New Brunswick. Ontario, or when I checked Canada-wide for Crown Vics on Kijiji, I think there's like maybe 5 or 6 for the entire country. Like I said, these things are not easy to find up here in Canada. The States, I know it's getting to be the same thing as far as finding clean ones go. So if you want a Crown Vic, better get one soon, because one day it's going to be your last chance to own one. And that's going to be it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. See you all for the next one.